A lot of road noise, so you guys will have to excuse that. And I have my buddy Paul, or we call him BigBeardedViper. He's coming out. And we're going to cover some details on the different generations and everything. But if you're a Viper fan, then you probably already know. But this is just a group of people that got together in northern Michigan and did a little Viper cruise and enjoyed what we have to offer up here. Oftentimes these meetups have much larger turnout, but for here, I think this is a great opportunity for me to take a look at them and share them with you guys. So let me know what generation Viper is your favorite one, maybe with a reason why. I mean, it's hard to argue that against the look of this guy here. I mean, that's pretty iconic looking, pretty wild. So I'm going to get Paul and we'll cover some details. He's much more knowledgeable on these than I am. That's actually Paul's car there, so stay tuned. Right, guys, so I got Paul here. He's the guru. He's gonna share info. So we're gonna start off with this guy here. Go ahead, Paul.
So this is the 96 GTS. This would have been the first model, first color combination that came out with a hardtop. Before 96, the Viper was open top RT10, kind of the quintessential red Viper open top that every young boy had a poster in his bedroom.
Exactly.
So this kind of commemorated the first year for the GTS, which is the hardtop. This will be Gen 2. This car actually paced the Indianapolis 500 that year, so this kind of commemorated
in this color scheme. Yep, too. I remember
scheme.
it, and then they did the Indy 500 on the door.
So when you bought the car, it would have came with the sticker package, but they didn't install it on the door. It just came with the sticker package.
Oh, okay. So you bought this one; it came with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And whose car is this?
This is Joe's.
That's I was guessing when I said that. I was just like making a. It actually is Joe's car. This is your car. This is Paul's car.
Yep, and this is 2006, which actually is the first year for the Gen 3 hardtop, which the Gen 3, when it came out in 2003, was designed as a convertible. And then when they got up to 2006 is when they added the hardtop for the Gen 3.
Okay. And complete change from that gen to this gen.
Yeah,
like
so,
I don't see anything that's the same.
Yeah, so basically, people call it a little more slab-sided. It doesn't have as much of the sexy curves as the Gen 2 does.
Okay.
But everything about the car was better. The handling, the horsepower, the brakes, the interior. So it was, natural evolution of the car.
It just didn't have I'll show. It just didn't have the sculpting, like that. That's the size of the brakes, and I'm sure we can get into the details. But it didn't have the huge side vent that opens up.
Yeah,
it still
has
it.
A little more subtle.
It's just more sharper, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you can see the brakes grew in size. For sure.
The Gen 2 would have been 450 horse. They stepped up to 510 horse for the coupe in 06.
Okay. Same liter?
Yep.
Same.
No, it would have went from 8 liter to 8.3 from the Gen 2 to the Gen 3.
Okay. So they opened it up a little bit.
Yeah. Gordon stroked it a little bit.
Then we got this one here.
And we have actually a Gen 4, which is a little bit different from the Gen 3. Suspension is identical. All the exterior work on the car is identical except for the 3-vent hood. The hood is a little more kind of aggressive.
Initially, what I'm noticing is like the way the venting is on your hood almost makes the hood look longer than this one, just with the placement of it's the same length, it's the same car, essentially.
But the Gen 4, when it came out in 2008, it was 100 more horsepower than the Gen 3. So the addition with the 100 extra horsepower, the vent changed a little bit. They added some more colors to the lineup, added a few different wheel designs. Added some subtle different color changes in the interior that you could get, but almost identical to the Gen 3.
Okay. And what was the year that they changed over from 3 to 4?
It would have been 2008 was the first year for Gen 4.
Okay.
And then that went from 2008 till 2010.
2010.
So basically, we have the gap right here. So this car was end of production, the Gen 4 in 2010. They didn't come out with the Gen 5 until 2013, which was actually in 2012, but it was as a 2013 model year.
Okay.
So if you'll notice, this one has the SRT badge on the side.
Yeah.
This is actually an SRT Viper.
Okay.
Was not called a Dodge Viper when they initially came out with the car in 2013. It was called the SRT Viper.
Oh, okay. They dropped the Dodge from the
Yeah,
title.
they dropped the Dodge and then brought it back the year after that. So basically, this is just an SRT Viper, which makes them a little special.
Nice.
First year for the 2013. They also bumped up horsepower to 645, and then this is an 8.4 liter.
Wow.
They achieved that horsepower bump with some better flowing heads and a little bit of an increasement in displacement.
Okay. And the overall look still is Viper, but it looks a little more dramatic to me too. I can instantly tell the side profile pulled design cues back from the Gen 2.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. They kind of went back a little bit in styling to kind of take a nod to the Gen 2.
Okay.
So it got a little more of its sexier lines back. This one has a custom interior, which I don't know if you'll be able to see it because of the tinted windows.
Yeah.
So this is actually a custom interior colors.
Yeah, I can't. It won't show.
Yeah. And then this one has the added 1.0 Aero, which is going to be the carbon fiber front splitter.
And that actually I noticed there's even some carbon inside there too, under the ducts.
And it has a carbon package, which adds some carbon fiber bits to it.
Okay.
And then the carbon fiber lip spoiler on the back.
You know, back up. You didn't say who
This
owns
is also Joe's.
Another Joe,
Yeah.
not the same Joe.
No.
A different another Joe. We have two Joes, and then who owns this one?
This is Mike's.
Mike owns this one. And then, so if we move over to the black one, very sexy looking black with the kind of dark gray stripes, almost ghosted in.
And if you notice, the hoods are different on these two.
Oh yeah, big time.
But you could still get both hoods for this car. This style hood was offered a little more heat extraction for it.
Sure.
And that kind of looked a little bit better.
Okay, so in the Viper community, this hood is preferred for looks. This one's preferred for function.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But same generation car. These are both 5th gen.
Yes. You notice this one does have a stock interior.
Okay, so that'll be the stock interior.
Yeah, which is, I believe, is the sepia, which is kind of a saddle tan color.
Oh, nice.
That was one thing from the upgrade to 3, 4 to 5 was the interiors were just night and day difference, and there was a lot of improvement in the interiors, which was kind of a faux pas for a true Viper enthusiast because they never really had anything they didn't need.
Right.
So kind of a lot of the haters within the community kind of had a lot of negative things to say about the interiors because they were just so world class.
Which is wild, instead of embracing the upgrade and the more refinement, because on the earlier ones, I mean,
interiors were very bare,
they
very
were plastic,
minimalistic.
and they looked like they could have came over from any other Plymouth or something.
Yeah. But
so they upgraded on the 5th gen. They're actually nice.
Yes. Oh yeah, they're really nice. But that was the philosophy of the car to begin with. So I understand the hardcore. The philosophy of the car, if it wasn't on there to go fast, it wasn't there.
Wasn't it like a team of racing engineers that basically developed the car?
Essentially, yeah. And one of the gentlemen that was in charge of vehicle synthesis for almost the entire program, Mr. Herb Helbig, they call him the Grail Keeper, because it was kind of his job to keep the base of the car. The Dodge Viper was created to be a modern day AC Cobra, which is the original Cobra. So if it wasn't on there to go fast, I mean, they didn't want it on there. They didn't want cup holders. Herb fought to have a radio in the car, fought to have air conditioning in the car, you know, because it was just a pure enthusiast, a driver's car, you know. But
And they did actually make, what generation was that? Wasn't there like an ACR version or something?
yes, there is an ACR version that came out in the Gen 2 and that carried over into the Gen 4.
That was even more raw, right?
Yes, same horsepower, the suspension was changed, and then there was a lot of aero added in terms of a front spoiler and a rear spoiler. Front chin splitter and a rear spoiler, which essentially glues the car down to the track.
Well, personally, after looking at Vipers for a long time, I don't think there's a wrong choice, wrong color, wrong generation. Like, they're all just stunning. I mean, even as we trade, who owns this one?
This one's Bob's.
Bob's. And then, so like you got the Gen 5, which is, that's it, right?
Yeah, Gen 5 was the last in 2007.
And you go right back to, like, here's a Gen 2.
Yeah.
And we don't have a Gen 1 here.
No Gen 1s here.
You usually probably don't see those on longer runs just because, you know, they don't even have like side windows and stuff.
Yeah,
like they're not great for like long road trips.
But we'll show you the RT10 over here, which basically styling wise mimics the Gen 1.
Okay.
There was just some upgrades.
I mean, look at both these. Like, this is kind of, you know, a mild evolution from Gen 1. Gen 2 was definitely more refined. And then all the way up to like the end. And they're both just fantastic looking. So, all right, let's go check out the other one. So this is the RT10.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. I don't know the year. It's either a 2000 or 01 or 02. I think it's a 2000 based on the color. This is kind of, the RT10 was basically the way the Viper came out in 1992. If you notice, this hard top kind of looks like it was a hat, just sat on top.
Yeah, it's a toupee.
Yes, exactly. That's what they call them.
Oh,
That's
okay.
exactly what they call them, because they don't really look very, very good on there. But basically, this car would be open top with just the sport bar on back. 92, they didn't even have roll-up windows. So this was the natural progression of the RT10. So this one has roll-up windows.
In a door handle?
Yeah, and a door handle on the outside, because the 92 did not even have a door handle on the outside because it didn't need it.
Right.
But this is also a Gen 2 450 horse. You'll notice the back end's a lot different than the two GTSs over there because it has the sport bar.
Yeah.
And then from the rear end view, the car just looks so wide. That's one thing about an RT10 from the rear. I mean, they just look like they're twice as wide as they actually are.
Nice. Real quick, I have another side question. Weight. Did it progress in weight over the Gens too?
Yeah, I don't have exact numbers, but it did cut some weight as the progression went on, through different materials used in the frame to different components.
So it didn't go up.
No, always went down in weight.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's backwards for most cars.
Yeah, the Gen 5 ended up, I think, right around the same curb weight as the 3.4, but it was a little bit lighter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for the tour, Paul. I really appreciate it. And then hopefully, maybe tomorrow morning we'll go for a drive or something. All right, cool. Maybe we'll add some driving to this video too. Thanks for watching. See you on the next section.
Because everybody's got a custom.
I'm gonna get a run on this.